Hi, you all. Welcome to the channel if it's your first time, or welcome back to the channel if you're a subscriber. Today, I want to talk about why today, July 14th, is so significant to me. And the reason it is, there's three different reasons. And the first reason is it's because it's sandwiched between July 13th, which is my birthday, and July 15th, which is the day that I got diagnosed with cancer. And the reason that that is so important to me is because the 13th on my birthday, which is always a big day for birthdays, but for me, it's always been extra special. And it started being that way when I started having some major issues in my body, because I've always struggled with something, you all, and we don't really know why. I mean, it could have been the heart defect that we just found has been in play all the time. And if I've had asthma with that, that could have had a lot to do with why I had such a hard time with everything. But I had 3 babies, and every single one of the pregnancies were very, very hard, and they progressively got hard. And so, like the first one, Jordan was born 3 months early, but the first 3 months I was horribly sick. I had to take something for nausea every day, and I couldn't take it through my mouth. So, it wasn't intravenously. So you use your imagination just to figure out how. And then and all 3 of the children were horrible nausea and throwing up and everything that first 3 months. And my second child, it was 4 days of labor, and she was a month early, you all. And it was really interesting. And it was hard. And my life was threatened at that time because I had a cyst growing at the same time. And had the cyst burst, then it would have killed us both. Then my third pregnancy, she came 2 months early. I was on bed rest from 5 months on. Horrible morning sickness before then. It was really bad. So because of that, and I also had endometriosis, which I was diagnosed at 21 with, I have always been in some kind of pain. I've always not felt well. And when I realized this was becoming like a thing in my 30s, I really started celebrating. I remember on my 30th birthday, I was going through my divorce, and I really didn't do anything. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do that anymore. So every year, I drummed up my birthday. I would tell people about my birthday. If I was at work and they had a board, I did a countdown before my birthday, like from July 1st. Everybody knew about my birthday. And I always make my birthdays really, really big because, and I would always say, I am so grateful I made it. And I meant it, you all, because I felt so bad. I just felt like something was wrong, and we didn't find it until I was, later. And so, and I would always be grateful because I just felt like I was dying and didn't know why. And so that was, I've always made a big deal out of my birthdays. So to have a birthday in the middle of waiting on results from a biopsy that I had on the 1st of July, when the 13th came around, I'm waiting on the phone call, you all, to see if it's cancer or not. But I'd already prayed about it, and I felt like really strong in my spirit. I felt like there were 2 tumors. One would be cancer, and one was not. And that's exactly what happened on the 15th. So, but because I was in the middle, I had no way to really, and I'm one person that needs to transition. So it happened. I was in the middle of life, you all, doing a wedding, just finished a big wedding, was in the middle of doing another one, was manager of a restaurant, handling 2 areas because we didn't have someone to cover another area. And 1 child on her way to college, 1 finishing college, 1 in the middle of college, in the middle of life. And the 15th came, and I was diagnosed with cancer. So the 14th, it brings me to my next reason, and I haven't written down because I want to make sure that I don't get, get confused or forget something. It makes today, the 14th, a reflection day. It is a day that I can choose now. Since I know that my birthday's on the 13th, I know that I'm going to be sad and reflecting on the 15th because it's going to remind me of what I've been through or what I'm still going through. I get to use today to reflect. I get to use today to help me to transition and to reflect and for direction for the future, because I use this time as a reconciliation with God. Now, today is also a day that is big in our family because my birthday's on the 13th. My ex-husband's birthday is on the 14th. So my kids have two birthdays. And then their dad got married on his birthday, got remarried on his birthday. So they have that. Then I have two cousins whose birthdays are on the 14th. So the 14th has that day, but it's also a day that I use to reflect. I mean, it has those meanings, those good meanings, but it's also a time that I use for reflection so that I can have direction to give me strength to face the next season. And it brings up a lot of questions. I had put a post up on my site if you hadn't seen it, but I have some questions listed that I am struggling with, and or not really struggling with, but I need to really deal with. Every year, it's not like I just have this smooth transition. There's always something going on with me medically. One year, when I hit the 14th, I think I was in the in the hospital. Yeah, my last year that I worked, which was on the 16th, the last period of working, because my last day at Red Lobster was the 16th. Wow, a lot happens in July. But I was in the hospital for 4 days, you all. And so there's always something going on. And then I just got diagnosed not diagnosed, but a clearer understanding of what's going on with the heart. And the doctor saying that the situation with my heart, yes, there's damage. We're going to do another test to see how far it's gone since the last 2.5 years. We've done the testing on the heart, but he said it doesn't get better. And he doesn't expect it to get better. And the pain and stuff that I'm feeling, he said it makes sense. I've had radiation, I've had chemo. And this is the cardiologist that I just didn't think that he really connected, but he was so personal when I went to him this last time. And we really talked in detail. And he said, especially if you have the lung issues, also that just adds to it. And there's less oxygen at the bottom of my organs, like where my heart and my lungs are, but there's more at the top, which makes sense because, and I'm going to go into detail of, he really explained the heart defect. And so, and hearing that news, and he said, we have to watch it because he said, hopefully he's got other people that he's watching with the same defect. He said, hopefully it doesn't get worse before I die. But what we have to watch is my lungs. It may be affecting the quality of my lungs because I have the 3 situations with my lungs. He said that could be affecting them healing if the lungs get really bad and the heart is slowly getting worse. We might have to do the surgery or do something different to help me be able to get through this. And that's not the best news, but it's good to know. So I'm dealing with that at the same time. And then finding out this year also that I'm about to lose my insurance because I have Marketplace and you have to make a certain amount to get Marketplace. And I didn't meet the goal last year and I'm not going to meet it this year. So instead of my insurance ending in December, it's ending at the end of this month. The problem with that is, you all, all my lung stuff is scheduled for August. And I haven't even seen the neurologist yet. She's already doing some stuff, having me fill out questionnaires because I'm seeing a new one. And she's in August. And in order to keep my insurance, it's like $803. So my tax credit was paying for that, for my insurance, but I would have to pay $803 to keep it. God may do a miracle. And so, and I might be able to, but right now, I'm dealing with the fact that I may not have insurance. So this is my day to reflect for direction. I spend some time with God, more time with God, and we really talk about what to do and how to do it and how to move forward from here well. And so the next thing is, the reason it's such an important day for me because it gives me the power to intentionally make the switch. I talked about this a little bit before. For me, it's very important to transition, go from jovial to reflection time, and to prepare for that because it's a mood swing. And it's important that I grieve, and it's important that I deal with the harsh realities of what's going to happen. And we are going to do something special tomorrow. I'm going to go to the restaurant I was working at, and at 4 o'clock I got the phone call, and I was standing in the middle of the bar, and the phone rang, and the bartender answered because that's where they keep the phones at this restaurant. And she said, the reason I stood in the bar, you all, is because I could see the whole restaurant from the bar. And so I was standing there and she said I had a phone call. And that's when I got the call. So we're gonna go to the restaurant tomorrow, and my Aunt Robin is gonna go with me, but her husband, one of her second husband, well, let's see, I'm trying to figure out how, that's not how you say it. Her husband, Stan, let's just put it that way, because she had a husband that died. Stan died on July 15th, not too long ago. So, so that's the anniversary of Stan's death. And so we're gonna go to this restaurant and we're gonna eat there, and we are going to just reflect. I want to be in the same place. I wanted to do it in the year 2000 because, or 2020, excuse me, because that made 5 years, but we were going through COVID, and so that was just not going to be the case. So we're going to do it on the 10-year thing. I think it's very important for me to lay it to rest at the time, on the date. So that's my plan. So anyway, so that is why July 14th is important to me. And so that's what I'm doing today. And one of the things that I'm being very intentional about more is these videos. I know this is something that can even help me if I get monetized. That might solve my money issues, but I've never taken it serious. So now I am going to post more. I'm going to be more open because I know that helps people. And I've been open, but I've not been as open. You know, you can be open without an open heart and it doesn't come across that way. And so I'm just going to use this tool to reach out into the world. Since I can't do it physically, I can do it through YouTube. And that's one way that I know that I can reach forward. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please comment, because it does help the algorithm know that I get engagement, so it makes them put the videos out more, which gives me more views. And so, because I want to reach as many people as I can, because it looks like this is my mission right now, a part of my mission. This is it. Can't go to a job, can't teach classes like I used to do. I can't do a lot of things. Big weddings I can't do anymore, but I can do this. So you all have a great day, and until next time.